Okay, look, man, seriously, we have to do this shit over, man, because George, seriously, for all you people that ever said George is so racist, you guys don't know. This mug, seriously, was turning into a black man before Jimmy, was he? I'm not lying. Tell the truth, Jimmy.
He's getting a nice little tan there.
He was like, he said, he said,
his
people's, athlete. He had 5 famous black man lines, you know what I mean? And within a period of 5 minutes. We had to retape because it was so bad.
Well,
now you need
that's why we're retaping?
It was ghetto-fied shit.
Had nothing to do with Japan.
All you needed was some grills. No, none of that shit. No, none of that.
No.
None of the other race stuff. Anyway, the first thing we're going to talk about is the NCAA championship that was a snooze fest.
Yeah, for what Kevin's saying is Butler 2 years in a row made it to the finals and 2 years in a row lost. Maybe next time you guys can go to the NIT and you can win that, and then maybe next year try the N64 because
Maybe next time they can practice shooting.
Texas A&M women.
The Texas A&M women had
I think they could beat Butler.
Yeah, they might care. I mean, if Butler shoots like him. Now, Georgia shit done rubbed off on me. I'm doubling up on this shit. We're having a really bad problem with English tonight, everybody. But Butler just shot terrible. Terrible. Their shooting was just fucking
to me, Butler looked a lot like Duke. Duke lives and died by the 3, and they have since Boozer's gone. Yeah. And Duke's only as good as their shooters are, and that's proved in the last couple of years. Duke gets to the tournament, they're hot, and they're good for about 2 games, and then they just start missing shots, and they get pounded inside. And that's what happened to Butler.
Now, the more exciting part of it was that our bracket finally got finalized with the winners.
And the winner being?
The winner was Winners. Winners was the winner.
Who are you?
Yeah, you got to tell us who you are, because, man,
send us a PM or
now,
tweet or I don't know.
The interesting thing was my old roommate, Katrina, came in second.
I heard she likes Trail.
Huh?
Heard her and Trail get along really well.
Her and Trail are like, they always give each other a rack of shit, man. Katrina's like a diehard Cowboys fan.
Oh.
Yeah. But Kat calls me up. She knew she was tied for first place with this guy, Winners. But, yes, Eagles, man. It's filthy ass hat. But, she knew she was in a tie with this guy, but the bottom line was it was going to come down to who had the closest score, overall score. And she basically chose to pick an NBA basketball score as opposed to a college basketball score. And seeing that Butler even cornholed. What's the word I'm looking for?
Cornhole.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Jimmy is all about in the cornhole.
Right. So even more because their shooting was just horrendous. She ended up coming in second. Zufa Zombie, who actually got the most points but didn't get any bonus points, also got cornhole and came in third. Fourth place was my bracket, but fifth place, and the most important person, because they chose a really good name, is Classic Jigaboo 2.
It's Jimmy's mom, actually. I helped her pick out the name.
Did you?
Well, good. She came in fifth, at least.
Yeah, she came in fifth.
She's always first on my bracket.
Who came in 17th, Kevin?
17th was Jimmy. George's I Got a Winner was in 16th. I was in 6th. The top 10 rounded out with 7th was 2011, 8th was...
Fuck 'em.
And you guys won't know who 9th, 10th, because George has chosen to use that to wipe his ass.
Who cares?
Yes.
I'm sure they don't care.
They don't care. No.
Now, performance-enhancing drugs.
Yes.
We're going to make this quick, short, and sweet because I think at least my new favorite person in the whole wide world is Manny Ramirez. Because Manny Ramirez finally stood up to the man and said, you know what, man, I ain't doing that shit. I had to use the drugs. I don't give a fuck. I made lots of money playing the baseball.
Yeah.
Deuces, bitches.
Yeah, I gotta like Manny Ramirez. Manny Ramirez, basically whole thing was, I'm 38 years old. You know what? I'm slipping. I'm gonna take a chance. You know, I've been busted taking PEDs before. I'm gonna take a chance. If I can do it, I can have a decent game. If not, I'll get popped, or I won't take anything, and I'll probably end up sucking up. You know what? He took a chance. He got popped, and he's like, I'm retired. And you know what? He's not going to deny it. He's not going to say anything. And
no, he's going to keep his mouth shut, just like all the Red Sox. Like, they interviewed Terry Francona. Francona's like,
Right.
In other words, I might have not stuck the needle in his butt, but I'm pretty sure he did. And the person who's pissed off the most is David Ortiz, because David Ortiz is like, oh, shit, man, I must be next.
Yeah.
Because, you're done, dude.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are getting old and stuff like this, but this is the thing, and we talked about it, we'll touch on it real quick. The thing I have a problem with the performance-enhancing drugs is not that the guys are taking it. I don't give a shit, because I thought it was interesting. Did you guys think it was interesting when Mark McGwire and Sammy Sosa were hitting home runs?
Oh, hell yeah.
So
I
did the
thought
writers.
It was the best stuff. Yeah, everybody loved it, but those same writers basically fucked them over and said, oh, you guys are taking steroids. Shut the fuck up, okay? Because the bottom line is this. Steroids have been around since the fucking 40s.
Been around since the Olympics.
And I know when I was a gym, and
the first Olympics.
Yeah, Olympics. When I was a teenager in the gym, there were loads of guys in their 40s and 50s taking juice, and they were playing baseball, pro baseball, back in the 70s and the 60s. So how can you? There's no timeline to tell you when these guys started. So I think the only guys should be blackballed.
It's everyone from here on out.
Here out. The guys that are doing it when the rules have always been put in play.
Like if you don't put Manny Ramirez to that name to those stats, his stats are phenomenal.
Yeah.
His on base and slugging percentage was through the roof, like nine plus seasons at over 1,000.
Yeah.
He has over 500 home runs, over 500 doubles.
He's in a club with just him, Barry Bonds, and Babe Ruth with some type of slugging percentage or something.
Probably.
Yeah.
Most warehouses rent it out in a month. I don't know.
Yeah.
That's what Babe Ruth used to do.
Yeah, Babe Ruth.
But then it was also different. Back then, the writers used to travel with the teams. So the writers weren't looked upon, and they weren't trying to make a name off themselves off these athletes. Which, in my opinion, I've never met a writer, and all I see is I get to read your writing and I get to see you on TV. To me, you're all scumbags. You rank up there, with my opinion, with politicians and lawyers. And all you're trying to do is fucking make a name for yourself off of slandering or coming as close to you can as slander, without actually doing it and steering away. Like, you're just fuck off, dude.
Right.
You've never been an athlete. Very few athletes turn into writers, and very few writers are athletes.
And what was the famous thing he said, Jimmy? What happened to what happened to these guys in high school?
Dude, they got fucking picked on.
Yeah.
I'm glad they made it out of the lockers.
Right.
They can write baseball.
Sure said they got put in lockers.
Yeah, and then when you made it to college, you big writer, you were a tutor for who? Tyrone and Kevin and John, the athletes.
Yeah.
You got to travel with the team and try to be cool, but you're not.
Yeah.
And this is your chance to get them back. That's my opinion of a journalist and a writer, and if you have a problem, fucking email me, and then I'll write back to you, eat my balls. So if you want to see it in writing, just go ahead and send me a message. I don't give a shit. I don't like writers.
With or without ketchup?
Usually jelly.
That ball-eating motherfucker. Anyway.
It's like the tossed salad, man.
Manny Ramirez is good. Jesus Christ. Manny Ramirez. Oh, my God. Manny Ramirez,
jelly.
we're not going to talk.
You're making me die.
You're making me hungry, man.
That's not what I was going to. It's the Chris Rock thing where he's talking about the tossed salad, man. And
I thought he was coming up with his own thing. I lost you there.
Dude, never mind. You got to see the thing on HBO where the guy talks about the tossed salad, man, and why he makes him put jelly and eat his butthole out.
Can we start talking about eating buttholes out and nuts, man? Y'all are fucking my head up right now. Can we move on to the motherfucker? Strikeforce. Thank you, Jimmy. No more butts and tossed salads. Okay.
Yeah, can you tell us about Strikeforce?
Yeah, well, what happened was Diaz versus Daley.
Didn't see it.
George and Jimmy obviously were here for the first fight, which
and part of the second.
And part of the second. On the first fight, I said, how long do you think this fight's going to last, guys?
Jorge said 3 minutos.
Yes, he said, it's not going to go past 3 minutes. I was like, okay.
And about $1:30 in, Baby Godzilla was choking out the man.
Beer bong.
Yeah, Beer Bong got choked out, man.
Almost called him a bad name.
Yeah, well, we're going to just... Baby Godzilla?
No, not that.
Oh, no, don't do that. Please don't do it. We stopped. We had to refilm.
It's in the rear view.
This video is about to be too. Yeah, we got. But yeah, Beer Bong. As much as we liked him and gave him his original name,
he was not looking good.
Yeah,
that
man.
Was
I mean, that guy.
Love the American shorts.
Yeah.
Love the game.
Yeah. He just. This guy was too much for him, man. This guy's nasty. Who beat him?
Well, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how long.
That wasn't much of a fight. Now on to the second fight.
Second fight,
which was actually a tag team. It was actually like a handicap match. It was 2-on-1.
It was. Now, why George is saying it was George and Jimmy they made it through probably halfway through the first round of the Keith Jardine versus Gegard Mousasi fight when all of a sudden George got an emergency phone call.
It was my bat phone.
It was his bat phone. It went off.
Basically, my old lady had a little too much to drink. She was a little more inebriated and had more sense than I have had in my whole entire life. She said, "I need a ride home."
So
I stood up and looked at Kevin and goes, "I'm leaving."
After he looked at me and spit green soup in my face.
Because he was so pissed. Wasn't happy, dude. I was looking forward to this. Haven't seen a fight in a while. And then Jimmy, right on time. Well, you're coming back, right?
My ride was rolling.
Yeah. So Jimmy rolled out with him. Now.
Sorry, Kevin, gotta go. I brought you pizza, though, buddy.
Yeah. Okay? Jimmy walks in with the pizza. 10 minutes later, they're walking out the door. So they missed a lot of good things. But George, if you notice, he mentioned that it was a tag team. The tag team was Keith Jardine and the ref against Gegard Mousasi.
who turns out that they might also be drinking partners.
Oh my God!
They
Because
might
they look like they
participate.
could hang together.
And
They've been in a few bar fights together.
They
Right.
might participate in some other extracurricular activities that we alluded to on our previous video. That if it sees the light of day, you will know what I'm talking about.
Now, if you guys don't know who this referee is, you guys might. Let me give you a little bit of history on him. He's been known to hang out with Bugs Bunny, Tasmanian Devil,
Daffy Duck,
Daffy Duck, and he's Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote, and he was formerly employed by Warner Brothers. His name is Yosemite Sam.
The rootinest, tootinest
referee in the fucking UFC / Strikeforce / WEC / Pride.
Got that cat off West Coast choppers.
Anyway,
what Kevin's saying is from what I understand, I can only speak on hearsay because, of course, I only saw part of it when Jardine was beaten or getting his head beat on like a Congo drum.
Right. Gegard Mousasi controlled the pace of that fight. He chased Jardine. He nailed Jardine. He hit Jardine with probably 3 times as many more strikes.
And an illegal blow.
He did have an illegal blow. Jardine did manage to take him down twice, which he worked his way out, did nothing, whatever. But at the end of the thing, I was thinking, Jardine could barely. Jardine was fighting to hold on. Does he have a lot of heart? The man has a tremendous amount of heart. Did he look impressive to take the fight under 8 days' notice? Absolutely. But the bottom line is that he got his ass whipped up and down the octagon, and he managed to come out with the draw. And that's going to be something that everybody's going to start fucking bitching about, because you heard the boos, and it was fucking nuts that he got a draw. What are they seeing? I'm telling you.
Jimmy, what does Dana White say about fighters and fights?
They've got to finish the fight. Don't let it go to the judges.
And I think this was a perfect example. Gegard Mousasi, obviously, might have coasted. Was he coasting at the end of the fight? I mean, was he still pressing?
He is.
Tactical?
He is tactical. He's a technician. He just sat back and he was real methodical, but he was destroying Jardine. He was tagging him. He was hitting him. He was beating him. He had him hurt several times. I mean, Jardine was. I'm going to tell you what. The end of the first fight, okay?
First round,
and the second round and the third round were like how Fitch beat Penn in the third round. It got progressively worse. It got progressively worse. There's no way anybody would score that fight a draw. Now, I mean,
I disagree. The 3 blind mice that were there tonight.
Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, and Helen Keller?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, as a fighter these days, obviously, you're just going to have to finish fights. Now, I don't know what that means for somebody like GSP, who... I mean, what would happen if that was GSP and they called that shit a draw?
Huh?
Oh, if it was in Canada, those judges wouldn't have made it out of there.
Oh, wait, because he doesn't fight anywhere else but Canada. Never mind, sorry.
Man, you're going to get knocked out, dude.
Dude, it's a joke. Lighten up.
I know, man. Why do you GSP fanboys get your feelings hurt? Like, you know what, man? I'm going to tell you what. Do you guys remember who I was a huge fan of for a long time?
Jimmy's mom?
Oh, my God. How'd you remember, dude?
She's a beast.
She's bad as shit.
About $1.25.
Yeah, man. Fuck some shit up, man. Anyway, Rampage Jackson. Remember, I loved Rampage Jackson as a fighter, but I liked him. I thought he had a lot of charisma. I thought he was a great fighter. But if someone asked me right now about Rampage, I'm like, he's done. I mean, really, he's very one-dimensional,
Quite possibly the most one-dimensional fighter.
He really is. And I mean, did I like him as a fighter? Yeah. Did I think he could stay in a lot of fights? Yeah. But I think
what's the key word?
Fan. Yeah, that's the key word. I was a fan of him. But you know what? I'm still going to be a realist. You know what I'm saying?
That's where...
Well, yeah, and I mean, I'll tell you right up, I'm a GSP fan.
Right.
And I wish he finished more fights. But
right.
Unfortunately, he's not.
Yeah.
I hope he finishes the one here in a few weeks.
And you see the same thing with Fedor fans back a while ago. George and I would get attacked by everybody who was a Fedor fan. They fucking annihilated. Fuck you guys. You guys are assholes. You do. Hole 27, I know if you're watching that, you were one of the motherfuckers. He wrote us a fucking novel in caps. So while he was doing it, he had to be screaming with veins coming out of his head.
What I think it was is he's got a blow-up doll with Fedor's face on it, and there's one of those mouth holes. And
he's a fan of ours now. Why are you acting like these fucking Fedor dolls?
Because he was at the time writing that letter.
He's just
no! Not one more person not watching. Please don't. I don't give a fuck.
He's in the Nav Sultan Club.
I don't care. Look, I like...
Now we have 7 Twitter followers.
To be honest, the whole 27 is kind of cool. I see his comments, I respond to him. But, I mean, he should be able to take a joke.
But no, he should take a joke because you were way on Fedor's nuts. But after he lost, after he struggled, and now he's got 2 losses, people are realizing that, hey, you know what? we weren't too fucking crazy.
You know what Fedor needs to lose next? About 25 fucking pounds. And go try a fight at 205.
He'll be nasty at 205. He'll be nasty at 205.
Just some Geritol, some Aleve, come in the ring smelling like icy hot.
What's Fedor, 33, 34?
Shit. But look, like we alluded to before, and damn, that's the word of the night for me. That's twice in one show. That's pathetic.
It's better than people. His people. George was saying some straight brother things.
Here's the thing. If you look at these old Pride fighters, Rampage, Shogun,
Father Time. Time.
It's not even Father
Who's
Time.
Father Time? What class did he fight?
He's whooping all their asses right now. That
Father Time is bad as shit, man.
That motherfucker ain't never lost.
Right. Never lost. Black belt in jiu-jitsu. Motherfuckers Muay Thai is nasty.
He's 10,000-0.
He's 10,000-0.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, Fedor fighting 3 fights in a night, that shit's catching up with you.
Yeah.
UFC fighters, Strikeforce fighters, they don't have to do that. Today's modern fighter, in my opinion, couldn't hang with those guys.
Yeah, you saw it even with Vitor Belfort.
Right.
I mean, when he had to do that shit, yeah.
Anyway, we're getting off subject. Subject is Gegard. Keith Jardine was given a gift by getting a draw.
Right.
That leads us to my favorite fighter, or one of my favorite fighters, who, again, guess what? Didn't get to see this one either.
No. They were gone, so I kept. Now, if it wasn't for now, this is where we give a shout out to Joker Josh because look, Joker Josh, you did not even realize, okay, that you gave George and Jimmy play-by-play through Twitter. They knew it. I was calling these motherfuckers up, going, "This way," they'd be like, "Look, nigga, you slow." Joker Josh has already told us what Twitter was going on. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, he was hitting us with the play-by-play, which is nice. But the one thing you have to remember, Kevin and I are watching the fight too.
Kevin can afford a TV.
Yeah,
Kevin can afford a TV.
Yeah.
Electricity sometimes shaky. Water probably 2 weeks out of the month.
This motherfucker comes up at my house.
Bringing food 95% of the time.
Bringing food, nigga.
Is there a pizza?
That was Jimmy paid for that shit. Jimmy, did you pay for the pizza?
That's not the point.
No.
The point is,
a $5 pizza from Little Caesars.
Who drove Jimmy here?
What's up, Mr. Al?
Who drove Jimmy here?
Who drove Jimmy to Georgetown all over, made a mystery fight? You drove Jimmy like the motherfucking Metro, nigga. God damn.
No, he was in the back. I was in the front.
He's like Miss Daisy.
That's the master. Where we going, Bob? Please don't hit me no more.
Girlfriend. But anyway, George's fighter, Melendez.
Gilbert
Melendez.
He wasn't eating grapes.
Yeah, he was just like...
he used those elbows.
He threw the fucking hellbows on him, Shorty. Hellbows! He fucked that bum up, Shorty. Fast. He did it I think he did it in 2 minutes. Whatever the case,
Him and Frankie Edgar need to fight. Let's just get this shit over with.
Or Gray Maynard, whoever wins that next fight. It could be Gray Maynard. And I think Melendez is ready to fight. I think if they unified, that would be a great fight.
Dude,
unified.
you know what? That's actually, they're going to make us pay to watch that.
Huh?
That's a pay-per-view fight. Gray Maynard versus Frankie Edgar is going to headline a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I'm not paying for that shit.
www.downloadthatfight.com.
Yeah, I mean,
I will not be watching that.
But I think you're onto something with Melendez. He was very impressive. He was very impressive. Now, the headliner obviously was the first time that Diaz was actually not the bad boy in the ring because he fought Daley.
Do you think more people hate Daley than hate Diaz? I don't think Daley's been around long enough to fucking have the hate.
I think more people hate him in the States. Because then you got a bad boy that's not in the States. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't care if anybody hits Koscheck after the bell.
Right.
Fuck him up.
I don't hate Daley.
That was the best hit he's ever had. That's
yeah.
Great punch.
I don't hate Daley. I mean, you know, he's a good fighter. I mean, but it was funny because when they started, right before they went in the middle of the ring to meet, Daley said something and Diaz was like, "Fuck you, punk." And then basically the first 20, 30 seconds he had his hands down, which was mouthing off to him. And I'm like, I was just so happy. I was like, man, just let the fight end. And let one of them sneak the other one so all pandemonium could break out. And that's all I wanted to see. That would be like an early Christmas gift to my black ass. It didn't happen.
Considering the fight didn't go that way, how did the fight go?
It was a slugfest. I mean...
Like, draw a line in the sand?
What I got from
Strikeforce special.
It was. Like Diaz, one thing I learned about Diaz can get a little sloppy, you know, and that's the thing where if he had to fight someone like a GSP, he couldn't make those type of mistakes and be careless because it'd be over with. But... he is a good fucking boxer, man. I mean, he just keeps you off balance. He uses his reach, and he outboxed Daley. You know, now does Daley have more power? Absolutely. Did Daley catch him and drop him? Absolutely. But it's like he got control and got his composure again. He played around on his back, fucking grabbed him, moved his head, and kind of got towards his ankles, managed to get back up, and fucking ended up dropping Daley and got the win. You know, he was the aggressor. He got Daley in trouble. Then Daley got him in trouble. Then he got Daley in trouble to finish the fight.
Now, some of the things I was reading, some people think the fight was stopped too quick.
You know what? I would have to agree that the fight was stopped too quick. But do I think it did I think it mattered? No, because Daley was hurt bad, and Daley was in a position where he was just going to continue to get fucked up. And the thing is, and the big thing you saw is now with the UFC rules coming over into Strikeforce, and these guys being able to use elbows, man, they were fucking raining them down. Melendez destroyed his guy with elbows, and Diaz was doing the same thing. Now, all of a sudden, Diaz has got Daley dazed, hurt. He can't really defend himself. He's hitting him with blows. He's throwing down elbows. Now, if the ref doesn't stop it, there's a strong chance he's going to knock him out cold and just continue to be. But even if he doesn't, the kid is so fucking dazed, he's going to get choked out. You know what I'm saying? He had never even been put in that position where Diaz had a position to get him on the ground. And now he's in that ground in a vulnerable position. He would have fucking put him in a lock and it would have been over with. You know what I mean? So I mean, people are going to say, did they stop the fight? Yeah, I think he jumped the gun maybe 2 or 3 punches early, but it wouldn't have mattered.
Now, the one big thing, they interviewed Scott Coker at the start of the show, and they said, well, how about the sale? Scott Coker, yeah, smart business decision. In other words, we were losing money, and they paid an exorbitant amount of money for my fighters. So here's the contracts, here's our production. I gave my CEO title for about another 2 weeks before they shit-canned me. And then the most important thing that came out of the interview is Scott Coker is all about the crossover fights.
Right.
So with that said, pick one crossover fight that you'd want to see the most.
Over Riemann, Cain Velasquez.
Okay, Jimmy?
I would have to say GSP and
Diaz. Yeah.
I'd want to see Melendez versus anybody at 145 or 135 to 145.
The thing is, with all these fights, the most probable one is probably the one that you picked, because GSP has to get past Shields, and then
if I'm Strikeforce, I'm setting up a Diaz Mayhem Miller
fight. Not only
fight.
that, why I think that one would be most likely is because they're lacking star power in the lightweights. BJ Penn now, I like BJ
he's
Penn.
a shell of his
great fighter, but I think he's on the decline.
Right.
You know, they need a star.
They need a star. They do.
So what the three of us would like to know, yes, I'm including Jimmy. For all you people who don't think I like the kid, I've known him since I was 14.
They're best friends.
Yeah, it's from 1994, so you can get off that. Is he a racist? Yes, but I like everybody. Now, with that said,
yes.
Wow. With that said, who do you guys want to see as your biggest crossover fight?
Crossover fight. Now, I'll say the fights that they mentioned. Obviously, the winner of Frankie Edgar Gray Maynard against Melendez. They talked about if GSP obviously beats Shields, GSP and Diaz. Then they talked about Overeem, who would have to go through the whole tournament, win, and then fight Cain Velasquez, who's coming off an injury. And then there's a lot of ifs with those fights. And then one guy goes, "You know what the fight I want to see?" And I was like thinking, I wonder what he's fucking going to say. And this motherfucker said, Kung Lee. Okay? And Jimmy's laughing I even said it. Because I told Jimmy what the matchup was before, and this is how humorous we found this shit. I mean, this motherfucker was doing bong hits before he said this shit.
Beer bong.
Yeah, beer bong. He was doing a bunch of stuff that beer bong does. Anyway, anyway, under the radar joke. Anyway, but Kung Lee versus Silva. I'm like going.
Now let me.
I go. Did this what Silva?
Now, here, in all fairness,
Silverback gorilla.
Yeah.
Silva. Thiago Silva.
I would.
Let me just say something real quick. I'm not an Anderson Silva fan like a lot of people are.
Right.
But let me tell you, fighting Kung Lee, that's a joke.
Right.
He'll knock that cat out so quick.
Now, here's what I would like to see: Anderson Silva versus Gegard Mousasi, or Dan Henderson.
Yeah.
Because Dan Henderson got it close, but ended up getting tapped out. And Gegard's only going to fight till he's 30. Squeeze that one in. But now,
Gegard's going to fight Hendo next.
Maybe.
That would make sense.
Depends. It depends on how they look at this draw.
He was supposed to win this fight.
Yeah.
Now, for all you folks out there, Anderson Silva's finally going to get the fight at home. They're having their first fight in Brazil. He's going to headline it versus won and lost versus Yushin Okami.
Now, the thing I want you guys to know is that this is Dana White and George actually had a phone call, and George says, look, we're not going to ride you guys so much, you and the Fertittas, but, there's a couple things that we've noticed since we've been watching, and we put our Kevin puts his $65 in the pay-per-view every few months. We think that Anderson Silva should get to fight in Rio de Janeiro, and it was amazing. Dana said, all right.
He's a fan of the Uncut.
He is. I mean, he follows us.
Show.
You know, just like Hackleman and all those other guys. You guys don't know, man, but we're fucking, you know, sad.
They know we're sad. Anyway, have a lovely day.
And we'll catch you guys later on.
Oh, later.
Man.
God damn. Bye.